A visual effects CG artist for Marvel Studios compares the critically panned CG for She-Hulk and compares it to Avengers Endgame and Thanos. And he explains why there's such a discrepancy, in case your brain didn't function and you couldn't figure it out for yourself. So this comes at us from the digital domain visual effects supervisor, Phil Cram, who was one of the leads of She-Hulk Attorney at Law, who also has had plenty of work on other Marvel Studios projects. So one of the things he obviously talks about is the amount of tech that went into each one. And he says that when it came to Thanos, it was a lot simpler to make him look better because, for one, he's bald, so we don't have to render hair, which, again, is true. I think most of you know, for example, video games, and video game hair typically looks god-awful, unless you enable something like NVIDIA's, high-end, which completely tanks the system. It takes a lot to render real hair. On top of this, he's saying, well, if you look at him, he's bald, so that's a lot easier. But then with She-Hulk, there's also a lot more emotional range that she has to display on top of this. And also, she's on the screen way longer as She-Hulk than Thanos is. So when it comes to the amount of money and budget you have, obviously, it's a lot easier to make the end result look better on something that's in a film for only 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes tops, as opposed to something that's in a TV series that's there for an hour to 2 hours in total runtime. And he also reveals that they used a brand new technique with She-Hulk, which started off literally being used for the first time for She-Hulk, called Masquerade 2.0. And this was an AI-driven, high-end, frame-to-frame, analytical, collecting data and putting out a result that focuses more on facial expressions instead of having to do it by hand and put all the dots on a face and things like that. So again, he reveals it's the first time they ever used it, and the more it learns, the better it's gonna get. So again, think of video games and think of like NVIDIA's DLSS, for example. The more you use it, the more the AI can learn, the better it can upscale and conform to delivering better quality at native output. So that's kind of what he's saying here. And the final thing he obviously said is there's also time constraints that were going up against them, but also the fact that Thanos isn't human. So it's easier to make an alien look better because you don't know what aliens look like. She-Hulk, there's an Uncanny Valley because, well, she's human. Just like there is the Uncanny Valley for Hulk because you see Mark Ruffalo's face. So again, it's a blending of everything, if you will, which kind of we've known was a thing. They talked about new technology for She-Hulk. They talked about how different they're going to do it. They talked about how they're going to capture stuff in real time and evolve new technological advances because they want the future-proof tech. So this kind of all lends a hand towards it. And again, I thought personally She-Hulk had some outstanding shots, but you had to be really up close to Jen's face to really see all the detail. The further she got away, the worse it started to look because all the detail is lost. So I kind of get what they're going for here, and hopefully the technology does get better as it goes on, because personally, I think it's got to get better, right? Like, you're not going to have her looking the same in Avengers Secret Wars, because then it's completely going to take you out of it.